The 2024 Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League regular season is down to its last couple of weeks. And for this Saturday, we are coming to you live from neutral grounds here at the Brenzigiao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga, where LJ Gonzalez will continue to lead the charge para sa Quezon Huskers as they aim to secure the top spot in the Southern Division. But in their way here in this game are Sancho Vitog and the Marikina Shoemasters. Vitog was the only player who scored in double figures in Marikina's last game against Binyan. His contribution will once again be important today as Marikina will try to play spoilers to these Quezon Huskers in their quest for the top spot in the Southern Division. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to everybody watching on MPTV Channel 98 on Signal, Satellite Channel 53 on the Pilipinas Live app, as well as on our Facebook and YouTube channels. This is Javi Palanya, joined by Coach Mike Perez. Ms. Gianna Llanes is at courtside. Coach Mike, this Marikina squad, they have had some upsets that they have caused this season. For this game, Coach, what will it take for them to make an upset against this Quezon squad, who is still in the hunt for that top spot in the Southern Division?
Yeah, perimeter defense is gonna be key in this game for Marikina, primarily because Quezon loves to attempt 3-pointers, and they make a lot of it, and they commit very few turnovers. So gotta generate the closeout, and gotta help side defensively in order to avoid any onslaught by Quezon.
Well, let's see if Marikina has what it takes to be able to get this victory against the Quezon Huskers. But talking about the Huskers, they lost their last game against the defending champions, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, in the home court of Pampanga, the other home court of the Giant Lanterns in the AUF gym. Pampanga won that 75-69 with the absence of Judel Fuentes, their leading scorer in that game.
Yeah, rough start in the first half. Regained their bearings. They competed against Pampanga in that last game. Tried to keep in step, but really the 16 turnovers leading up to 11 points for Pampanga was very unlike of how Quezon really performs. They got their help from the bench, plus 17, pero it was really just good shooting percentage. 41% for Pampanga that did that game for their favor.
In that game, that could be a preview of our national championship this year. The Huskers faltered in those departments that Coach Mike discussed, but here in this game, they will be looking to bounce back. Marikina is hoping that they don't get the ire of the Quezon Huskers in this evening's game. The Shoemasters lost big time to Binyan in their last game, 97-59.
Yeah, we talked about perimeter defense. They got to start out strong, because in that game against Binyan, they fell behind early, 5 versus 22, and trailed by as much as 40 points en route to that loss against Binyan. Sancho Vito has his best game of the season, led the team with 15 points, but no other players scored in double figures para dito sa Marikina. And, they really just did not have enough against Binyan, especially with the 3 points being very efficient para dito sa Binyan. Plus 3 3-pointer makes on a 40% shooting, plus 20 points in the paint, where 15 of that really came from the fast break in favor of Binyan.
Marikina has to do a better job defensively against this loaded Quezon Huskers squad, who is looking to bounce back from that loss against the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. It's Quezon versus Marikina. Let's go to Miguel Pere.
Tonight's second game features Quezon Huskers versus Marikina Shoemasters. This is the 2024 Manny Pacquiao's Mpbl Season 6, presented by Extreme. Here are the starters, beginning with the Quezon Huskers. Starting at forward, number 77, Gab Panal. Also at forward, number 5, Simon Sandagon. Center number 34, Lander Cannon. Guard number 13, LJ Gonzalez. And the other guard, number 2, Judel Fuentes. Their head coach is Eric Gonzalez. Assistant coaches, Richie Dixon, Nash Rosella, and De La Torre Luis Velasco, Jonathan De Guzman, and Bernard De Guia. Team manager is Attorney Don Capunan. Team owners are Governor Helen Tan, Congressman Mike Tan, and Mayor Ralph Lim. Now, the starting 5 for Marikina Shoemasters. Starting at guard number 0, Jetro Escoto. Also at guard number 20, Jomel Landayan. Center number 41, Marlon Pasco. Forward number 17, Gama Evangelista. And the other forward, number 5, Eric Pili. The head coach for the Shoemasters is from Florida Blanca, Pampanga, Rizal Castro. Assistant coaches, John Paul Basilan, Monroe Quesson, Fernando Bunag, and JC Lim. Team managers are Leo Correa.
Our primary protagonists in this game are starting five, brought to you by SportsMax, powered by PlayMax, the official online entertainment partner of the Mpbl. Win to the max. LJ Gonzalez, Judel Fuentes, joined by Gab Banal, Simon Sandagon, and Lander Cannon getting the starting nod as well. Para kay Coach Eric Gonzalez on the other side, Marikina will be beginning things with Jetro Escoto, Jomel Landayan, Eric Pili, Gama Evangelista, the veteran Marlon Basco is the man in the middle for the Marikina Shoe Masters. Welcome to the second game of our Saturday triple header here at the Brenzigiao Convention Center. This is the live and continuing coverage of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League 6th season. Quezon failing to make a basket after they won the tip. Escoto on court from the outside. Judel Fuentes coming back from a one-game absence. Makes the pass to Gambanal, who rattles it home for the three.
And itong Quezon Huskers have really been very disciplined when it comes to their executions offensively. They love generating threes in order to get closeouts, and that really triggers the movements offensively, just like what you saw in that last set when Judel had the ball on the right side, swung it over laterally to the waiting hands of Gabanal for that straight-up three.
Marikina still couldn't buy a basket here. Not even a minute gone by yet in our opening frame. Aside from having to deal with the athleticism, speed, and strength, plus the length of the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, in your opinion, Coach, what did the Quezon Huskers need to improve on further in that game?
Well, first, I think let's remember wala si Judel Fuentes in that game, and that's very vital. With Judel, you're getting a lot of three-pointers. He's shooting 36% from that area and roughly gets 14 points per game. And the thing about Judel also is that he's a streak shooter. We saw that in that game that we covered against Davao, and he really just went nuts on 7 of 8 in the first half alone from three, enough to spread the game wide open early on.
And here he is with the basketball. Made the pass to Sandagon, but Sandagon could not handle it. Landayan pulls back. Evangelista shifts to the left. Goes up with the right. He's fouled. He will take 2 shots.
Itong depensa ng Quezon, for the most part, really limits their opponents to only 70 points per game. They're number 4 rather in that department, and nangyayari yan kasi yung mga big men nila, these are the new age big men that are actually very mobile, can run the floor and close out and help out when their teammate gets beat.
Quezon is behind Abra, Binyan, and Pampanga in that defensive department dito sa ating liga, as Gama Evangelista puts Marikina on the board. Evangelista was scoreless against Binyan. One of the reasons why Marikina had such a hard time producing points. And there's a foul against Eric Pili.
Tsaka mga player ng Quezon, very willing passers. I think that's what makes this team very dangerous. I mean, there's no one aspect of the game that that builds up teamwork than passing, but to have shooters that are very willing passers really builds up on that too.
Axel Fuentes right there decides to take it for himself. Ball rims out. Pili. It's 2 screens from Evangelista and Basco. Gabanal swords in for the rebound. Fuentes will not force the issue. Banal will. Gets it down low to Sandagon. That's a walk on Simon Sandagon.
May konting gigil. Nakitang libre-libre yung kabila.
He still does have the propensity to make such decisions or have those kinds of executions. Especially talaga pag alam niyang kayang-kaya niya na isalpak.
There's actually 2 players on Quezon whose name starts with the letter X. And the other one being Cyrus Torres, who now has moved, I guess, to the PBA.
That's correct. The NX Road Warriors have activated him, and Quezon has already granted his release. We wish Cyrus well in his career moving forward. Another former PBA player, Gab Banal, former league MVP here in the Mpbl, knocks it down from the outside.
37 three-point shooter, Gabanal. And how can you not guard him, Lalo na kung trailer siya. You gotta be mindful of where he is.
And there he makes the pass to LJ Gonzalez. I wish to see more of those kinds of plays, Coach, if
Right.
I were Coach Eric Gonzalez.
Mhm.
I want Gab Banal to be more aggressive, not necessarily to look for his shots, but also just to make plays in general.
Right, and to take them when necessary. Just the maturity and how the kind of player he's been for Quezon really would matter. Oh, what a pass!
Unfortunately, Zidal Fuentes was stepping on the baseline. Gonzalez had a wide open Gab Banal trailing him from behind. Here we see the fast break instigated by Gab Banal, leading to a basket by LJ Gonzalez. This is a fast break of the game brought to you by SportsMax, powered by PlayMax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max.
And 5 of those 8 points are actually fast break for Quezon, no? So you talk about fast break, that's transition basket on open floors. You see this drive here by Escoto.
Strong move on the left side, finishing with the right.
Pero kasi ang Quezon is one of those teams na pag pinanood mo kahit na half-court set, parang fast break pa rin yung dating. People just flying around and moving from one spot to the other.
That has been the philosophy of Coach Eric Gonzalez. He has really tried his best to inculcate it to these Huskers, especially this season with a much more loaded roster. And of course, more weapons in their arsenal. Evangelista getting his first field goal of the game para sa Marikina. Fuentes, corner pocket three. That's short. Escoto tracks it down. Forward to Pili. Eric Pili denied by LJ Gonzalez.
And there is a reason why Quezon allows only 70 points for their opponents, because transitionally they can defend like this as how LJ did.
That was supposed to be an easy finish for Eric Pili, but LJ Gonzalez not giving up on the play, blocking that shot. Pili has a chance to redeem himself here, and he knocks it down from the outside. 3 is always better than 2, he says.
And that time around, he created really good separation against the defense, able to go counter to where that defense was moving and to knock down that shot unmolested.
Isa na lang ang lamang dito ng Quezon. Banal couldn't handle the pass. Di sila nagkaintindihan doon ni Nino Ibanez. Ibanez has been the only new guy to come on mid-season para sa Quezon Huskers. As we take a look at this three-point shot brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. And I was talking to him a few days ago. He says that it was really a big adjustment for him, especially coming from a heavy role with the Bulacan Cuyas to fit into this Quezon roster, be a role player, play more defense, but at the same time, still being able to score points.
Yeah. The thing about Quezon is this is really built on culture. I mean, this is one of the teams whose culture you really love to admire, and you see it on the floor, the way that they perform. You see a lot of togetherness, and it flows in the system.
Banal gets the pass from Sandagon, and Simon will score. More than halfway gone by here in the first quarter. Marikina able to keep in step with these Quezon Huskers. How long can they do it? Estacio, they need some production from him. Estacio matched up against Capiso, who's playing against his former squad. Estacio settles for the jumper and misses. Ibanez quickly to their front court. Sees Fuentes locating to the corner.
Well, a couple of turnovers already. Triggered by Nino right there, and not even being a good pass to the corner for Jidel.
So almost the whole starting lineup. No, the whole starting lineup for the Quezon Huskers are now on the bench as the other players come in para kay Coach Eric Gonzalez. You have Matiliano, Minerva, and Rivera. now filling in the spots of the starters.
And it doesn't feel like you lost anything with this new five for the Huskers.
Stepping out of bounds there was Domel Landayan. That's a turnover as well para sa Marikina.
Yeah. And you still have the point guard ability of Nino Ibanez, the rebounding of Simon Sandagon, the range of Domark Mataliano. I mean, this list just goes on for the rotation of the Huskers.
Gravera overcooks the three-point shot. Chance to counter here for Marikina. Casejeros was stopped in his tracks by Rodel.
Gotta move the ball.
Estacio trying to make something happen, met by three white shirts in the shaded area.
And it's tough to be creating situations, initiating the offense just by your lonesome if you're going up against Quezon, because you know you're not going to have a clear path to the lane. Those paint touches are going to be difficult because they're able to close out on those gaps, which Estacio, experienced. Good thing he got fouled.
Estacio wasn't present in that game against Binyan, which also added. No, sorry, he did play. It scored 8 points, played 13 minutes in that game, but only shot 3 out of 9 from the field. Decent percentage, but not enough if you're one of the top scorers of Marikina.
Pero ito, napaka-efficient pa rin ng field goal shooting ng Quezon. They're overall shooting 45%, 60 from the perimeter, 33% from three. They haven't shot anything from the free throw yet. But you see the numbers, no? Ang ganda ng numbers ng percentage nitong Quezon.
Baseline throw-in for the Huskers. 10 on their shot clock. Ibanez, given some space, makes the pass to Matiliano. Minerva, back out to Domark. Matiliano could not hit from the outside. A Piso got a hand on it, but so did Jomel Landayan. It's going to stay with Quezon with a fresh 14 back on their shot clock. Ibanez pops out. Opiso trying to seal Evangelista inside. Matiliano eventually did decide to go to Jason, but that pass was picked off by Landayan.
You see that? 4 white shirts down in transition immediately.
Oh, but Gama Evangelista knocking it down from the outside. Very confident to start the game. 7 points for the big man.
And I feel that's the only shot that they will allow from Marikina. You go take your threes from the outside because you're only roughly about a 25% three-point shooting team. And so we're going to live with that if you make it.
Jason Opiso knocking down his first basket of the game against his former squad. This was a team that he led in scoring last year. He was still playing under Coach Elvis Tolentino.
Wow.
R.R. Casejeros, mainstay for the Shoemasters for a lot of seasons now, knocking down a jumper near the elbow. That's his first 2 points.
And this has been close because on the recent possessions that they've had, they've been very efficient, speaking of Marikina.
Ibanez could not hit from downtown. There's a foul on the rebounds play. That's going to go against Quezon. We're all tied up at 14 here.
Pero nakikita mo yung pag-generate ng mga closeouts. No? Everybody, when the ball gets outside on the three, you see a black shirt immediately closing out because you have to respect the three-point shooting of Quezon, let alone yung mga perimeter jumpers, RJ Minerva, Opiso, even Domark Mataliano.
Oh, you talk about the culture, coach of the Quezon Huskers, but this Marikina team, they also have a particular culture already in shit.
Right.
Of course, being built by the foundation that Coach Elvis Tolentino provided them in their early years before he transferred to South Cotabato. Sancho Vitog, their top scorer in that game against Binyan, scoring inside.
Yep. And Coach Rizal is a very able mentor to these young Marikina players. I mean, the upside is really just a lot for them, especially with Coach Rizal building on that system and culture started by Coach Elvis.
Robin Ronyo back to RJ Minerva, who scores on the finger roll. Ronyo has not seen action for quite some time for the Quezon Huskers.
And look at Ronyo talking to Coach Richie Tixon after that play. It's communication altogether for the Quezon Huskers.
Bitog trying to pick up from where he left off in their last game. Lagrama uncharacteristically losing it.
Good recovery.
Estacio slows down, sees Casajeros on top. Landayan will not hesitate. That's no good. Lagrama will slow things down. 13 seconds still on the game clock. They'll go for the final shot here. Lagrama wants a screen. Minerva slow to give it. Minerva pops out instead.
Skip.
Opiso
Nice
fakes
fake.
the three. 1 second left on the clock. Opiso misses everything.
Now you're gonna love that if you're Coach Rizal. You defended to the buzzer against that 3 attempt by Opiso.
That first quarter saw Gabanal making plays not just for himself but for his teammates as well. Here you see the fast break opportunity he gave to LJ Gonzalez. Quezon playing both ends of the floor, coach, in that first quarter, but Marikina able to come back slowly and tie the game.
Yeah, and just enough for them to make conversions and try to keep this game a little bit closer against the firepower of Quezon.
We're tied at 16 apiece. Our first quarter score is brought to you by GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the Mpbl. Basta ending GameX.
Eyes on the prize talaga ang Quezon Huskers para sa panalo ngayon dahil ito ang makakasecure ng kanilang number 1 spot going into the playoffs. Marami daw silang natutunan during their last game against Pampanga. Kwento ni Coach Eric that they actually put a premium defense on Justin Baltazar, but as a result of this, the opponent's guards like Archie Concepcion were able to perform. In his words, we learned through that game that teams like Pampanga are not just centered around one player. Sana din daw ito ang katotohanan tungkol sa kanyang kuponan. During the last 4 practices, they actually focused on the fundamentals, especially on individual defense, because he knows the time will fly by fast before the playoffs. Only Al Francis Tamsi will not be playing for the Quezon Huskers today. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, G. Excellent report. And, for Coach Eric Gonzalez, he realizes the importance of being together as a squad, that no matter how much firepower you have, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't work as a team.
Right. And coaches learn from the games that they compete against, lalo na against the tough teams and the tough games. And just so Coach Eric really picked up on that game against Pampanga. I like that he mentioned na hindi lang isang player ang pwedeng mag-control ng game. And so they gotta be working on that part also.
Speaking about control, Coach Mike Marikina controlling the start of the second quarter, scoring 4 straight points. Check out our fast break of the game here, brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Playmax, the official online entertainment partner of the Mpbl. Win to the max. That's Jomel Landayan, able to extend this Shoemaster lead to 4. Not even a minute gone by here in quarter number 2. Tunghayan natin ang ating fan of the game, brought to you by Jinky Skin. Say hello to the camera, miss. You are on TV. Welcome back to the Brenzy Giao Convention Center, neutral grounds for our Saturday triple header dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. This is Javi Palanya, joined by Coach Mike Perez and Miss Gianna Lianes at courtside. So far, Quezon struggling here to begin the second quarter. Marikina capitalizing on those errors by the Huskers. Let's see what Coach Eric Gonzalez has drawn up. And that's definitely a good answer of a ceasefire three-pointer galing kay LJ Gonzalez for his 5th point of the game.
Yeah, and just going back to the foundational execution offensively. see if there's a shot. If not, go drive, draw that second defender, and kick out to the next guy that's free. In that case, happens to be LJ Gonzalez.
On the other side, Estacio able to draw the foul against Judel Fuentes. That's going to be 2 shots para kay Aaron Estacio.
I feel itong Marikina is wanting to prove themselves also in this game, because this is an opportunity for them to try and close out strong this season, especially as you go up against the top teams.
Marikina still has a lot of games on their schedule compared to the Quezon Huskers,
Right.
who are playing their last 2 games of the year.
Mhm. They could be spoilers for Valenzuela and Rizal, who are battling it out for the final 8th seed in the north.
Quezon City, of course, part of that battle for the 8th
Mhm.
spot originally, but that big win against Davao yesterday really helped them move up in the team standings in the north.
Right. So very tricky yung sitwasyon na yun ng tatlong teams na yun, Rizal, QC, and Valenzuela, which right now the upper hand would be on Rizal, but it really matters how Valenzuela would perform in the last 2 games against Iloilo and Marikina.
And that's why if you want to compete, especially when you're in the Northern Division, you have to be able to make sure that you have the pieces
Right.
to compete with the other squads who
Correct.
really loaded up this year. Ultimo Pampanga pa nga lang, Coach.
Right.
Lumakas pa lalo
Oo.
our defending champions.
Totoo yun. Sabi nga kanina nila Coach Vincent Harder at nila Coach Jerry Andaleon, it's the change in the landscape of the talent in the Mpbl that has really, shored up rosters and shored up teams.
And of course, that is development that is always welcome dito sa ating liga. We're very happy that we're experiencing perhaps the best season yet in our young history. Estacio trying to extend this lead of Marikina, and does so with that first free throw. You see Coach Raisel Castro, long-time assistant of Coach Elvis Tolentino here at Marikina. This is his first season as a head coach.
Tsaka matinding stretch for yan dati si Coach Rice. Sa ibang klase pumili siya sa labas.
Simple lang, Coach, pero
Oo.
talagang effective.
Oo.
And those are the stories I've been hearing a lot about Coach Raisel Castro, former FEU Tamaraw. And here's another former FEU Tamaraw. Gonzalez kicks it out to Fuentes. That's short.
One
Back
more.
to Judel. Fuentes missing 2 straight. Very uncharacteristic. But Simon Sandagon is there to save the day.
Pero si Judel, you cannot be complacent. Nagmimintis siya. This is a good game for us, because at any point within the game, he starts connecting. You're going to be pretty assured that there are going to be more attempts and more makes from Judel.
Ayun nga yung mahirap, Coach. Kahit naman nagbimintis, di mo lang pwede basta-basta iwan. Kasi
Oo.
mas lalo pa yung mamomotivate para pumuntos.
Oo. At saka si Judel is one of those shooters na talagang diretso yung tira. Walang pakaliwa, walang pakanan. And even on misses, his shot really looks good.
Caseros step inside the line. That one's short. Semi-transition here for the Huskers. Marikina back on defense right away.
Yeah.
Gonzalez rejects the screen. Bounce pass to Banal. Was poked away. It ends up with the bando. Gonzalez, another 3 on the way. Airballs that one. Estacio. Hesitation, crossover, puts on the brakes. Vito Tabasco in the middle. Now it's with Casajeros. RR forces it in. Could not get the roll. Marikina, though, still ahead by 2 points. Quezon with a chance to tie, maybe even take the lead with a 3.
Oh, wow.
They throw it away. Landayan challenging Abundo. That's excellent cover by Bonabundo. Sandagon push shot, short. Both teams missing some easy baskets on each possession. The last few trips.
Right. Na napakaganda ng depensa pinapakita dito ng Marikina. We talked about it at the top of the coverage that, perimeter defense is gonna be key. And so far, they've been at it, forcing 8 turnovers already. para dito sa Quezon, to which Quezon on a really, ang average nila of about 10, 11 turnovers per game.
Gonzalez, that vaunted crossover of his, creating a lane to make the pass to Simon Sandagan.
Now, if you're playing this much good defense right here, you have to be able to sustain it for the entire 4 quarters if you're Marikina.
Crossover into the middle. Vitug got lost in the shuffle. Nobody helping the helper, Marlon Basco, which made itong si Simon Sandagan wide open for that left-hand finish. There's a timeout on the floor by Coach Raisal Castro. Under 6 minutes to play in the first half. Simon Sandagan against the Pampanga Giant Lanterns tried his best to hold down the ground against the defending champions. He did manage to score 10 points, 8 of which came in the second half on a very efficient 5 out of 8 shooting from the field, 5 rebounds and 3 assists as well.
And it's just tough to be going up against the bigs of Pampanga. And, come the playoffs, that really is going to matter defensively for any team that goes up against them, including itong Quezon.
Now that continues to beg the question, what if Will Gozum was still here?
Oh, yeah.
Para sa Quezon Huskers, especially in that game against the Giant Lanterns.
That is right. It's just the hustle and, the activity of Will Gozum inside the floor, and his presence, I guess, would matter a lot.
Exactly. And, sure, they have other big men on this team talking about Quezon, but it's still different when you have a guy like Will Gozum, someone of his caliber, former NCAA MVP. Gonzalez gets the steal and sails all the way for 2 points. Quezon now in the driver's seat, 25-23.
Yeah, classic dribble handoff defense right there by LJ. Really just cutting inside and not allowing him to go over that DHO.
He's really playing the angles well here defensively. Almost gotten a steal once again against Mabigat here on the handoff. Getting one off Mel. It's 2 points para kay LJ Gonzalez.
And believe it or not, that's just the second turnover of Marikina, and that's the first couple of points of turnovers para dito sa Quezon.
Escoto back in the game for Marikina.
Good shot.
Wasting no time in attempting from the outside, knocking it down.
Right.
Big basket para sa Marikina.
Yeah, yun ang importante para dito sa Marikina. Naintindihan natin maganda dumipensa itong Quezon. Pero once na nagkaroon ka ng pagkakataon na Tamira, you better be very decisive and understand I'm gonna take this no matter what.
Ibanez missing everything on that shot. Silas Zabale will pull out. Marikina still has time on their shot clock. Escoto medyo nagdalawang isip doon.
Gotta take this.
This one rims out para kay Jetro Escoto.
Now you have to admire this guy right here, Marlon Basco. It's not easy to be going up against the mobile bigs of Quezon, but he's been doing his thing.
This 3-point shot of the game brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. That's Jetro Escoto for you. 5 points in the game para sa kanya. Marikina in the lead by 1. Under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Abundo skips a pass to Fuentes. Matiliano guarded heavily in the corner by Gama Evangelista. This time, Domark attacks the closeout. Almost got that one to fall. And he'll take 2 shots.
And na-generate yung closeout na yun. Why? Because it's Domark Mataliano in the corner. I mean, how can you leave him free? And, he's just very decisive then. Pag dumating yung closeout, I will, backtrack and get to that open spot before you get to it.
Matiliana used to be one of the premier scorers
Mhm.
of the Mpbl. I remember when he was still playing para sa Muntinlupa a couple of seasons back.
Right.
Let's now go to Miss Gianna Lianes for a report.
Winning their last 3 games of the season is what's motivating Coach Rizal today. At hindi daw yun imposible going against Quezon. Ang paborito daw niya kasing alaala sa season na ito ay nung muntik na nilang talunin ang Pampanga, and this time around daw, mas may character commitment sila and having that killer instinct. He actually said that his biggest goal daw kasi this season was really showcasing the talents of his players. Something he also witnessed when they won against QC, where CJ Charlesworth's last shot brought the game into overtime. Coach Rizal actually tells his team today that as long as they compete, they may surprise themselves. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, G. Let's see if Marikina can keep in step with the Quezon Huskers. In fact, they have gotten the lead a few times here already in this game.
Yeah, and tama yun. No? Yung dalawang games na yun against Pampanga where they lost just by 1 point, and that win over QC. They won by 4. Those are, milestone wins, which Marikina can actually build on.
Mel Mabigat scoring from short range. Ito Marikina, almost the same roster makeup as Muntinlupa. Naming bata,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of veterans. You could see, even with the lack of talent on the roster, talagang lumalaban pa ng lumalaban.
Yeah, totoo yun. And you see Coach Rizal Castro right there on his bench after that made basket earlier, really very animated and telling his guys, you see, we got a chance. If we start competing and defending against these guys, keep on forcing them into turnovers, to which they've been doing a good job, forcing 9 turnovers already and getting, 9 points out of it.
The belief and the trust does have to come from your head coach.
Mhm.
Evangelista puts the ball on the deck. Met by the help defense of Domark Matiliano. Escoto trying to tap it to himself, but Cabanal able to get to the basketball first.
Mhm.
As a foul, laban dito kay Jetro Escoto as he tried
Right.
to steal the ball away from Gab Banal.
Yeah, and Gab really stayed within his cylinder, trying to protect that ball. It was Escoto who jumped into him.
Marikina is arguing that there was an elbow to
Could
the
be.
abdominal area.
Could be
Ito ni Silas Zabale, or ni Jetro Escoto rather.
Nagmukha lang palusog si Gab because yung bola nasa harapan niya at medyo nakayuko siya.
Banal near the free throw line. That's long. Tracked down there by Mabigat. Codinera. Corner pocket 3. Good line. Just Escoto among the taller players, soaring for that rebound and drawing the foul.
Wow, 7 offensive rebounds already for Marikina against the 6 of Quezon Huskers. So are you doing a good job if you're Coach Rizal? Yes, your team is doing a good job securing those offensive rebounds.
Especially because they gave up 51 boards
Mhm.
to Binyan in their last game. 16 of which came from the offensive glass. You just got a glimpse of Coach Eric Gonzalez and a part of his staff seated on the bench. Escoto short on the first free throw. Marikina is 5 out of 9 from the charity stripe.
And it's been quite a while since the last time we heard a 3-pointer made by Quezon. I guess the last one being LJ Gonzalez of that pass from Jadel earlier. But, so far they're 3 out of 17 after shooting roughly about 40 to 50% early in the game.
Banal gets it to Sandagon.
Oh.
Throws it to the Marikina bench.
Again, a little miscommunication right there. Guy with the ball on the elbow, weak side corner guy. Depends on how they attack that conceptually. He could stay in there or lift on the wing.
Eric Pili will come back in para kay Silas Zabale. Marikina still with the advantage, 28 to 26.
And they're shooting way below than their normal average of roughly about 30% from 3. As you see, another good drive right there by Pili. And Marikina just making the defense work for Quezon.
Also defending well themselves whenever Quezon has the basketball. They
Right.
forced 10 turnovers against the Huskers in this game. Pili, little sidestep there, able to get it in. Look at that crossover and the right-hand attack for the lefty, finishing still in a left-hand floater para kay Eric Pili. 1:40 to go in the first half. Up next for Quezon will be a game against the South Cotabato Warriors on September 30. That will happen at the home of the Parañaque Patriots in the Olivares College Gym. That's going to be a very interesting matchup as well. Two possible foes in the first round of the playoffs.
Yep. And, you take as many as you can right now. Top team come on or bottom, you want to end the regular season with a win.
Gonzalez tried to make a pass to Ronyo, who was wide open on the right corner.
Almost a travel there by LJ.
Gonzalez will be taking 2 free throws here. There you see Coach Raisel Castro, first-time head coach here in the Mpbl.
And you just love how both these teams have actually been playing. You see Coach Reisel in constant communication with these guys on the floor. Well, when that camera swung, it was Robin Ronyo now talking to his teammates on the floor. So communication inside on the floor really very evident dito sa dalawang team na to. And that's why, we have a really good, well-played game.
Fidel Rivera coming back in. It's quite a tall lineup on the floor para dito sa Quezon.
Yeah, naka-stretch na yung defense, ano?
Cordillera hands it back off to their court general Escoto, who gives it up to Pili. Pili to Evangelista. 3, no good. A double foul. Laban kay RJ Minerva and I believe Gama Evangelista.
A good setup there on that 3 from up top by Cordillera. You see a lot of those now. Yung mga dead corner situations where you pass it to the corner and you just have to dribble it up and pass it to the top guy.
What does it mean, Coach, when you say dead corner?
For the most part, mga depensa kasi yung mga corners sinasarado na nila. So it's dead on that spot. And so a lot of the schemes right now are trying to figure out how to get out of there and create opportunities offensively.
Fuentes, steps, fakes.
Nice pass.
Ronyo, he loves that spot of the floor. Look at LJ Gonzalez coming out of nowhere. Another three-pointer. This time he makes sure. Fuentes able to connect from the outside for the first time in this game.
1 out of 6 right now for Jadel Fuentes, and I'm pretty sure he's not gonna stop.
Especially now that he's already made something from the outside, you can expect him to be more trigger happy, quote unquote, as they try to close out the Marikina Shoemasters in this game. 43.6 seconds remaining here in our first half. Let's listen into the huddle of the Marikina Shoemasters. All right, you just heard the huddle of Coach Raisel Castro in the Marikina Shoemasters. I think he was trying to draw up a particular play, but also stated the option that if it's broken down, you could go into a two-man action
Right.
on top.
And so they kind of anticipate once they get past this full length of the floor defense that it will be kind of a zone setup. But they're staying with man right here.
Pili gets it to Evangelista. Hop step. Push shot, no good. Cordillera gets the offensive rebound. Second serving, wala pa rin. The battle for the 50-50 ends up with RR Casajeros.
One more crack.
Casajeros, still no go for Marikina.
Those are almost 2 to 3 attempts in one possession para dito sa Marikina.
10 seconds left. Gonzalez throws it away. Pili, 4 seconds left. Eric Pili will put Marikina up by 1, 32 to 31 at the end of the first 10 minutes of action.
And when we talk about effort at the top of the coverage, this is what we were mentioning about. And Quezon really tried to set it up, but really just the hustle and the effort of Marikina ending that quarter with that basket by Pili on open floor.
There you go, Eric Pili helping this Marikina squad to get a 1-point lead heading into our second quarter. Our first half, rather. Our halftime score brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the Mpbl. Basta ending GameX.